So turn up the video speed. You know, occasionally you'll see on the news, they'll talk about where have all the men gone, why aren't men at work, college, GDP, who's going to pay Social Security, all that nonsense, you know, the trades and all that. And I'm here from the other side, and I'm going to tell you, we're doing fine. We're doing great. In fact, we're doing awesome. For the guys that have their act together and, you know, they can figure out minimalism, life is so much better. I see what some of these guys are going through in relationships and the work, you know, like working yourself into an early grave. And I understand exactly why things are going the way they are because, well, you told about most men that they're, you know, ew, gross guys, everything's your fault. Go to the land of the untouchables. And it turns out we're capable of turning the wasteland, the forbidden area, into a paradise for ourselves. So we're doing fine. But I just thought I'd give a message from the other side. And so let's go over that. And by the way, Freedom Phil, like, subscribe. Let's get into it. Turn up the video speed. You don't really have any problems when you're a single individual for the most part. You have some things, you know, you think about things like, if I drop dead, you know, who's going to keep after an eye on my dog? And in that case, maybe you develop a little tribe. Like you're an ogre and you get, you know, hang out with one of your buddies. He's a troll and you got another guy. He's kind of a goblin. So you all hang out together. You know, maybe you go and shoot pool occasionally and do stuff. That way there's someone, if in case one of you drops dead when you get old, someone to keep an eye on things. And, you know, they're like, oh, well, it looks like Frank's not alive anymore. better call up his family. But that's like the far off thing. And people say, well, what about, you know, family and a legacy and all that? I think most of us have made peace with the factor that the whole idea of a legacy is a joke. It really is. You build up something incredible in your lives and you watch as the children or the grandchildren piss it all away. You know, and let's be honest, a true legacy should have to be earned, and most kids don't have to do that. So you're gonna kill yourself working extra hours just for that crap. So you look at what most guys are dealing with, and look, I get it. If you have a happy relationship, great, man, glad to hear it. But I've seen way too many guys where it was like, okay, so let me see if I got this right. You were doing everything right, and then one day she was just bored. She got the 7-year itch. I mean, they used to talk, you know, a bunch of trash about guys. Oh, he's got a midlife crisis. He bought a car. He bought a this. He bought a that. I see that every day with chicks. I don't have an SUV that's this nice. The emblem, we need a better house, bigger this, bigger that. And who's expected to generally pull a lot of that weight? And by the way, yes, there are ladies that pull that same weight too. But generally what I've seen is a lot of guys are expected to go out and work that extra shift, do this extra thing. And this is the real kick in the nuts that I've seen occasionally with some of these. You're never home. You know why? Because I got to pay for all this crap you want. Take it all away for a second. And just look at the fact, and the joke is, you know, like guys can live on impulse mode. Women can too. They just choose not to. And why would you when you have all these men that are willing to pay your bills for you? So the guy on impulse mode, and there's a kind of meme, it's kind of a joke, and I'm not the first to point this out. I remember Aaron Clary saying this, and it's hilarious. Men think it's acceptable to live this way, and it shows like a TV, an armchair, a bed, maybe a mini fridge, just the most basics of things. And yeah, it's true. It really is true. We have the things that actually functionally make our lives better, and we avoid all the other crap. And to some degree, we might even avoid getting the most expensive version of that because it doesn't really matter that much. If what we have works just fine, why would we go out our way punishing ourselves to get the absolute better version? Like you will see some guys, and still some guys, even with the minimalism, they're like, I've got to have this sports car. Okay, whatever, you do you. But I mean, there's a lot of situations where it's like old man mode, except for you're 30. And people are like, well, what about your retirement? If you're not working all the time, what are you going to do about that? Well, I don't know if you guys know this, and I've said it many a times, and I'll say it again. Van life of OTR trucking. No rent, no utilities. You can live off $200 to $300 a month, and you're making 90 to 100K. You're saving about, after taxes, about 90 to 95% of your pay. You know, it doesn't take that many years for you to have your retirement fully funded, probably by the age of 25 to 27, easily. Then go out, buy a house in the South somewhere, you know, someplace that you look at it, okay, it's functional enough. The people that lived here passed on this last spring, and you buy it in the summer because the family doesn't want to keep it. You got a house, spend another year, get yourself a car, maybe even get an old pickup, good old pickup that can take care of you, and a new car, and the car stays in the garage. You're set for the rest of your fucking life. And in that respect, Maybe even just for boredom, you work a little side seasonal job. Maybe you have something just because you're like, I need something to do, you know, and you're good. Your investments are making you more than enough money. And so at that point, being, if you won the game with minimalism, why would you screw it up? Maybe you'll get a few nice things. But they say, well, if you're single, living by yourself. So say you have a house this big, rent out the other 2 rooms to a couple other people, a couple other dudes. And by the way, if you get old, you might want some other dudes around, just like with an older woman. What if someone drops dead and, we still got the dog around? Make sure that like someone calls the family and then, keep the dog alive. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty laid back. And so then it comes down to, I hate to say this, I'm not the first to point this out, but I definitely agree with it. You know how people are so, on the regular common borns, the regular people, you work all year and they give you maybe 2 or blessed 3 weeks off. And if you ask for all 3 weeks off in a row, they won't give it to you. Well, we can't do that. You can't have all 3 weeks off. Why not? I want to actually go out and have enough experience and time to have it be awesome, not just, 1 week here. Like the way I feel about taking vacation time is I want to take months off at a time, years. In fact, come April, it'll be 3 years since I worked a normal job. And I'll go back to trucking next spring or sometime in the summer. But part of it had to do with this remodel and also traveling. Wanted to have some fun because my thought was, hey, man, I'm getting to an age where I'm older, but still young enough to do everything I want to do. So I better go do it while I can. Otherwise, I may get old and never realize I never did it. So I went out and had a lot of fun. But yeah, you got no problems, no issues, no nothing in life is tits. And so, yeah, the boredom, you're always looking for the new thing, the new mountain to climb, new challenge. And it's funny because you realize that an individual that actually does the hero's journey, like I was explaining earlier, is the perfect person to raise a family because they have their act together, but we don't encourage. We don't reward men for doing the right thing. We punish them. We tell them, oh, well, you're getting divorced. I know you did most of the work for all that stuff. And by the way, I have met women that are in the same situation because they're the highly productive one of the two, and they end up getting screwed and divorced too. I think our system of divorce is absolutely nutty. Like, why not protect the person who actually earned the assets? So that way there's an incentive. Like, you want these guys to be the better men that you want, ladies? Well, stop completely screwing them over in divorce and vilifying them as well in the media and all that. But like, yeah, these are the guys that you would actually want to raise kids. But like any sane individual that's done that much work is going to be like, oh, hell no. Maybe they'll go over to some other country where they still have what they consider traditional values and they'll get married over there and they'll live over there. And the key thing is you just don't bring them back to America. But, for the guys that are still here, just kind of going off and doing their thing, just kind of wandering around like some, old hermit sage thing. Yeah, we're doing fine. We hope you're doing well too. We see society crumbling and we're like, well, it sounds like a you problem. But yeah, I just thought I'd say that's what we're doing. So anyways, that's long little kind of a little ramble there. This is Freedom Phil. Like and subscribe. And remember, turn up the video speed. Y'all have a great day.